My name is Debbie Schofield, and I'm one of Haley's moms, and I have cancer. But cancer doesn't define who I am. Cancer is just one of the things that I now am forced to deal with on a daily basis. Last September, I discovered that I was been really sick and discovered that I had a spot on my lung that was a pulmonary embolism, the doctor said. The pulmonary embolism turned into a need for CAT scans, PET scans, MRIs, and they said, oh, and by the way, you have a lump in your breast. Well, I couldn't feel it. I couldn't see it. There was no notice. I had no problem, no pain. And I'd just been to the doctor for my physical, and the doctor had said, hey, for your age, you are in fabulous shape. You don't even need to have your yearly mammogram because, hey, you're great. That is mistake one. I should have had a mammogram. And I'm here to tell you that when you guys turn 40, or if you have any occurrence of cancer in your family, start getting mammograms now, because mammograms find what other things don't. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I had no health risk whatsoever. I have no family history of breast cancer. So much so that when they did a genetic test on me, because I do have a birth daughter and a birth granddaughter, they said, you need to get this test done to find out if you've passed on the gene or a gene marker for cancer to relatives. I don't. I have absolutely no reason to have cancer other than I live, I breathe, and I exist. I'm healthy, I'm normal, I'm fine. But from September's PET scan, CAT scan, MRIs, mammograms, all kind of procedures, that morphed into a mastectomy on December 10th of this year. So Haley got to spend her fall break, her winter break, taking care of me. Now that involved a wound vac that was on my chest, approximately 60 stitches that are in a big Y shape, and something that is called the wound vac bulb. Now the wound vac bulb is actually just a drain that drains blood and really gross stuff out of your wound from the surgery. And Haley took care of me for 3 weeks until that drain could come out. I was terribly sick after the surgery. One of my other daughters came and stayed with me for a while for Christmas. The grandkids came. My daughter-in-law from Houston ended up having to come and stay some because I was helpless. I couldn't do anything. But all of that is to tell you, as bad as the surgery was, as bad as the recovery was, nothing compares to having to tell my family that I had cancer. The looks on their faces, the horror, the terror. And I felt like I had let them down. Somehow my body had turned against me and I had let them down because the invincible one, me, was now sick and in need of help and care. I've passed that stage. I'm now at a point where they'll never tell me that I'm cured of cancer. I have to wait 5 years, but there is no presence of cancer in my body at this time. I have to take a daily chemo pill. I am on my 3rd pill because these medicines have horrific side effects and you never want to have those. You have aches, you have pains, you have body aches, you have all kinds of headaches, lack of energy. You've heard of chemo brain. Chemo brain is when you feel like you can't think clearly. I would have trouble articulating, and it was just an awful thing. So we've changed my medicine now, and I'm on my 3rd try, and I'm doing much better with that. But it still has side effects. I wake up at night because not being able to sleep is a side effect of virtually every cancer medicine, these chemo medicines, because I have what is known as HR positive invasive ductal carcinoma. That means that the cancer started in the milk duct in my breast, which is why I couldn't feel it, and it is estrogen positive. And so they've had to make sure that my body does not produce estrogen in order to ensure that I don't get cancer again. I now have to get mammograms every 6 months. No big deal, but if they find cancer, then the other breast will come off. But they don't automatically take off both breasts when you have cancer in just one breast. That's another issue. There are times when I wish they had taken them both off, and then there are other times where I go, oh my gosh, I didn't think I was going to survive the first surgery. If they had had to double that surgery, how could I have handled that? But things work out. I was able to have my surgery during a time when I had plenty of help to help take care of me and help deal with all the symptoms. Things work out in that I have the most wonderful doctors and surgeon that anybody could ever ask for. And things work out in that this was found only because I got sick. A person who never gets sick got sick and had to have a chest x-ray. And here we are, 5 months down the road. I have one breast instead of two. I deal with some side effects of medicine, but I'm grateful and thankful for every day that God gives me. And I'm grateful and thankful for people who cared enough about me to help take care of me. And I am especially grateful and thankful that there are medical procedures available to take care of my problem. And I would urge each and every one of you, do your self-exams, take care of yourselves, don't engage in behaviors that risk your health and your life, and especially have a mammogram.